Welcome to Pitch the Tide Live. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We are live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and we want you to be a part of this show. We believe in storytelling. We believe in technology. We believe in restaurants and hospitalities wherever you are in the world. We have been doing these shows twice a week since the good old Clubhouse days back during the pandemic. Today, we created a show called Pitch the Tide Live. It is a chance for restaurant owners, business owners, technology professionals. It is a restaurant technology showcase show. So if you're watching this and you are part of a restaurant technology company, hospitality technology company, and you want to be on the show, please email us, podcast@calibbq.media. We would love to have you on as one of our Friday showcases. Today we have Chris Munz. I have known Chris for a while now. We've done some work for another restaurant tech startup company called Qubriux. We did some amazing work together. Now he's working on a new project. So we are going to bring him up to the stage, give him the floor, and allow him to share the story that is the company that he's building. Let's go, Chris. What's up?
Hey, Shawn. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. We've done some great work together, and now I'm really excited to. I think this is cool because I don't know anything about the company that you're about to present. So, tabula rasa, which means blank slate. I have a blank slate. You have an open book, and the community will be up to join us. But the stage is yours. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate it. So I appreciate joining and having this floor to be able to present Qubriux. So give you a little background on myself. I'm Chris Munz. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at Qubriux. Spent the last 2 decades in restaurant technology, helping brands use data, drive connection and not just transactions. At the end of the day, it's about, figuring out what, marketers and operators and the consumer want and how they can get more out of the data that they've been collecting on their customer base. And that's what led me to Qubriux. The company was founded by restaurant technologists who believe that the loyalty isn't just earned through points, it's earned through purpose. And so, for a long time, we've treated loyalty like a checkbox, a points program, a discount, a plastic card in someone's wallet. But loyalty isn't physical, it's emotional, it's a feeling. And so much have we been clouded over the years in thinking of this as a physical thing. It's the warmth of being recognized, the excitement of being rewarded, and the trust that keeps a guest coming back, not because they have to, but because they want to. Qubriux was built to engineer that feeling, to connect data with emotion and emotion with measurable growth. Mike, can we go to the next slide there? Cool. So really what we've been rewarding is the transaction instead of people. People are what makes our industry go round. And every brand says they want loyalty, but what they really are building are discount programs, tools that create traffic, not attachment. The truth is points expires, but feelings don't. And guests noticed. It becomes table stakes for them. And it's about just hoarding points and using them when they want, or not recognizing cannibalization. And not really using it for what it can be utilized for. And recent studies show that over 90% of the diners value personalized loyalty offers, and half say it's extremely important to them, according to a study by Restaurant Dive. Yet most programs still send the same generic offers to everyone. We all have them in our inbox or, on our phone. It's the digital equivalent of saying, we don't really know you, and nor do we care about what you think about our brand. That's why we're failing them. And in the process, failing our own businesses, right? Not generating the excitement that we create between our four walls within the digital community. But the future belongs to brands that understand how to build emotional loyalty, loyalty that lasts beyond the offer. Can we go to that next slide there, Mike? So marketers today are drowning in dashboards, insights, analytics, reports, but no action. I hear it time and time again. They have all of this information, but they don't know what to do with it. It's scattered across loyalty programs, POS systems, delivery platforms, you name it. Data fragmentation is alive and well, unfortunately, within our industry, and it's a big problem. It's a huge disconnect between us as the brands and the actual consumer. 71% of consumers expect personalized interactions, and 3 out of 4 get frustrated when they don't get them, according to McKinsey. And even worse, nearly 2/3 of guests say they'll stop being loyal to a brand if they don't personalize the experience. So we got to stop. When we're failing at personalizing, we're missing opportunities. We're actively losing the customers we worked hardest to win. Spending all that money on acquisition, not knowing customers is not what we need. The industry doesn't need another loyalty app or analytics tool. It needs a system. It needs one that listens, learns, and creates meaningful connections in real time. And that's where Qubriux steps in. Go to the next slide there, Mike. So the belief at Qubriux is that the transaction isn't the end of the customer journey. It's the beginning. Every order, every visit, every interaction is a story waiting to be told. When brands connect to those stories, they uncover the moments that matter. The chance to welcome, surprise, and delight, and re-engage in ways that feel personal, feel a connection, feel that true loyalty, and creates a loyalty continuum. That's why today's loyalty programs are missing. They're missing the human side, the ability to recognize that guest, create relevance, and build trust through digital touch points. That's that emotional, data-driven marketing that we're really looking for and have been for all this time. I had actually one of these moments today when I went to the local gas station to pick up a breakfast sandwich. I went to pay. I entered my phone number in to earn loyalty points. The cashier looked up and asked, "Do you like energy drinks?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I love energy drinks. Why not, right? We're in restaurant tech. We're always running on energy drinks." She smiled and said, "Loyalty members get a free one today. What flavor would you like?" And I was like, wow, this is like, it made me smile. It created this connection to this brand called Phoenix, who I've never even heard of. But here's what's even more powerful about this is that small exchange also captured that meaningful data because she scanned this drink. It went on my profile. Now this company knows that I have engaged with their brand. They can now start messaging me through the gas station's loyalty database. And now it becomes a piece of data, a moment of an interaction that can create better returns for not only the CPGA brand, but also the gas station. And so it's just not a transaction, it's more insight, which is exactly what we're looking to glean off of these interactions that we have on a day-to-day basis. And when you multiply that by thousands and thousands of guests each day, you begin to see how micro moments personalize and create both emotional and financial return. And that's what exactly Qubriux is helping restaurants do, scale those surprise and delight moments that build that real loyalty. Mike, can we go to the next one? Yeah, there we go. So I've heard this over the last 20 years, right? Is that every restaurant wants what Starbucks has. not just a loyalty program, but an emotional ecosystem. Starbucks didn't just collect data, they learned how to use it and make every guest feel known. There's hundreds and hundreds of case studies around how Starbucks has used this data to create this brand affinity and loyalty towards their brand and their products. They've built a living, breathing system that turned every interaction to a moment of connection. They've proved that personalizing a message, an interaction, isn't selling, but building relationships. And our team helped shape that foundation. And we took those same learnings and built Qubriux, which is a platform that's designed to help every restaurant, from growing chains to global icons, create the same kind of emotional driven loyalty at scale. Go to the next one. Thanks, Mike. So the moment for us as restaurant marketers is that we're sitting on gold. Years and years of guest data across multiple systems, the POS, loyalty apps, delivery platforms. But unfortunately, you hear this around in the hallways, which is it's trapped, it's in silos, it's disconnected. Nobody really has a clear view of their customer, who they are, what they like, how they interact with brands. We've grown so fast digitally, we haven't really consolidated the data to make it useful. And marketers, listen, they don't need another report. They don't need another insight. They need outcomes. They need measurable ways that are actionable, not static. And, that's why we're building the flywheel of commerce, right? Data fuels engagement. Engagement drives repeat visits, and repeat visits generate even more actionable data. So what is Qubriux? Qubriux is a unified CDP, CRM, and loyalty messaging engine that was purposely built for restaurants. It consolidates every guest data interaction. So you think about POS, online ordering, your pickup, delivery, loyalty, gamification, feedback, on and on and on. Any touch point that a guest has with your brand into one intelligent platform that gives you a complete view of your customer and allows you to reward redemption, to challenges, to the breadcrumbs of insight that you get that tells you something about them, and that you can build those deeper relationships with. But it goes a next step further, which is that it activates that data across the channels that they want to be able to be communicated to, right? So email and SMS, localized ads, WhatsApp, social, and many, many more, depending on where your customers are. Decoupling the data from the channels and allowing for brands to have a multi-channel communication strategy. So there's no more juggling disconnected tools or having multiple logins to multiple systems to transfer data to make sure that it's all working together. We connect the data, the channels, and the communication into one ecosystem. It's how restaurants turn everyday interactions into lasting relationships. So I would say that, our work speaks for itself. Qubriux is powering personalization for brands like Qubriux Coffee, Shawarma, Batil, Pizzawalla, and Chef Driven Hospitality Group, to name a few. And we've seen what happens when a brand gets it right, when the guests engage more, spend more, and stay longer. Because when every interaction feels intentional, loyalty stops being a program and becomes a relationship. And ultimately, we want to do that. We do it within our four walls. We want to be able to create that digitally as well. And we as an industry are really being pushed to do this by the consumer. This is what the consumer wants, and we need to be able to create those experiences that we do between the four walls within our digital hospitality channels. So most, loyalty platforms are built on those old ideals of points and transactional systems, no human connection behind them. You earn and burn, but it's not really earning the trust of the customer. They have 16, 17 different loyalty programs. We've made it so easy to join, never really given the real features and benefits and ongoing support of them. And really what Qubriux is building is that, digital hospitality at scale. We don't just automate the communication, we humanize it. We combine the loyalty, marketing, gamification, and feedback into one platform that gives you the ability to put the guest at the center and create that one-to-one messaging that they've been requesting, that they want to be able to feel, a bond with your brand. So my ask is that, the restaurant industry, it needs more tools. It needs to transform. It needs to reconnect on the human side of marketing. We see the data, as, numbers today, but we really need to look at it through a lens of the people, right? Our customers. And Qubriux is exactly doing that. We're helping restaurants tap into that emotional, profitable side of a database. And, as I said earlier, we're sitting on gold, and, it's our job to be able to mine that and, help, create those, that long lasting loyalty. Because hospitality, is data alone doesn't build loyalty. The emotion does, and with Qubriux, the emotion is measurable. So I appreciate the time, and would love your feedback and questions. And
amazing. Great job, Chris. Thank you all. Whoever's watching, please, we have space on stage. You can come back up, ask a question, give some feedback. Let's go ahead. Eric Miller, welcome to the stage. Can you take a minute? Who are you? What are you building? And what's your one question or one piece of feedback for Chris? Go ahead, Eric. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I am not currently building anything, but I am also, but I'm certainly interested. I've been in the space almost as long as Chris, almost 20 years now, just under. And I know there is a need for Qubriux and what it can deliver. And so, and I agree with a lot of things that Chris said. Loyalty is trust, and there is a disconnect today. And I think it's our responsibility to help some of these restaurants and do the due diligence for them. Time is everything, right? And they don't have enough of it. And it's our responsibility to do some of that educational background for them. And that's why I'm here, is to learn. And so I am more familiar with Qubriux today than I was yesterday. And that's all that matters, right? I think the world needs this product.
Do you have any feedback, one piece of feedback to help Chris and the Qubriux team improve their pitch to restaurants?
The only thing I would say, I would have dove a little bit into, and probably time was some of the issue there, but Qubriux has a journey that is all automated with AI based on the data that is fed into it. And it makes the entire tool almost effortless, and it's insanely accurate. And so, whereas, today, if you're talking to an operator today, they typically speak to, margins, and they speak to time, right? Well, it all comes down to, if we can save them time, and we can replace that time with actual dollars, and other focus, there is a huge value here. Well, I've even represented products in the past that say they can do something, but they don't. This product actually does. And so it is exciting. I'd lean into that like crazy. And then maybe a little bit of background on the founder. If everybody knows exactly where this founder where he started his journey, what he's doing today. And I know we mentioned Starbucks, but this guy is a machine. He understands people, and he makes products that truly eliminate pain.
That's awesome.
That's great feedback. I appreciate it, Eric. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Leaning in a little bit on, the time saving piece of it, that makes perfect sense, because, right, that AI marketer and what Eric's referring to is we've built a piece of our platform called Munz, which actually mines the data on behalf of the marketer and creates messaging journeys and the messaging, and so that you could spend all the time with the insights, but you have to go create the messaging strategy around it. This combines the two, and makes marketers smarter.
Awesome. Good stuff. Appreciate you being here, Eric. Vincenzo, you're up. 1 minute. Who are you? What are you building or working on? And what's your one piece of feedback or question for Chris?
All right. Thanks, Shawn. Chris, great job with the presentation. So I'm a lifelong restaurateur in Southwest Florida. Owned, operated concepts here, and transitioned out of the brick and mortar business. And I do a lot of B2B restaurant tech investing, advising, and I'm building a trade solution myself. Nothing's been published yet. Still operating in stealth mode. But I guess what I could share with you as far as some feedback on your platform, it's a little bit of what Eric touched on. Your process, right? Starting with what type of data do you pull in before you might, model an approach, right? I think that's probably the most essential thing, right? And then from there, maybe display to your audience, how does it increase, unit traffic volume, right? Give a use case, okay? And then from there, stem that to, or tie that into the customer lifetime value and how that might increase, because at the end of the day, that's what you want to distill it down to. How might it, increase the CLV, right? But otherwise, great presentation. I'm looking forward to learning a little more about your platform and your background. And just like Eric had alluded to, it'd be nice to maybe learn a little bit more on how you got on this journey, right? On building this platform, because that's what's going to resonate, I think, especially as you open up for the first time to a prospect. So great
feedback, Vincenzo. Eric, welcome to the stage. Eric at Shifty. I don't think we have your camera, but if you can unmute your mic, you can. Oh, there he is. What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for being here, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I originally clicked in as an observer and just followed the link in your LinkedIn. Oh, wow.
We don't like we want action. It's stay Good curious, stuff. Get involved, ask for help. You got to get involved. It's way better with you. The more guests that we have, the more perspective we have, the more our industry can grow and get feedback. So take a minute. Who are you? What are you working on? And then go ahead and give a piece of feedback or ask a question to Chris.
Yeah, my name is Eric Abrams. I've been in the restaurant tech space on and off, I'd say, over the last 20 years, similar to Chris's journey. And I'm currently at a group called Shifty, where we are building a solution to the problem of employee onboarding and training for restaurants, specifically engagement. Knowing that, the average restaurant worker across the country lasts about 1 month and 27 days in their role. And that's a cost sink for restaurateurs. So we're building a platform to address that issue and make day one onboarding easy and engaging for employees as well as the trainers. So it's not just shadow shifts with the A players.
Have you heard of a book called The Power of Moments?
No.
Amazing book. And the reason I bring it up is they talk about the opportunity that employers have, restaurant owners have. There's a lot of stories in the book, but the magical moment of not overlooking day one when somebody comes in, of like, you have an opportunity to create a magical moment. That's something that people will remember for the rest of their lives. It's Chip Heath and Dan Heath. It's a great book. But
absolutely check it out. That sounds like extremely relevant, because that's what we're going after, right? We're trying to increase that retention, that relationship with staff that you invest so much money and time into for your restaurant.
Yep.
For Qubriux, Chris, I thought the presentation was great. It's really exciting stuff that you guys are working on. I'd echo, just because I don't know a lot about the platform, but what the other Eric mentioned, he seems to be familiar with it, is that the layers you're putting into the customer journey in an automated way and really distilling different behaviors throughout this massive data lake potentially is of massive importance. That's definitely something that the industry has been missing for a long time, because as you know, typical loyalty solutions are capturing in-time moments like what's your birthday, what's your anniversary date. Everybody's doing that. We're inundated with that stuff, and it doesn't meet the moment. Like, hey, this customer has ordered this appetizer 4 times. They really enjoy it. Can we drop a surprise and delight coupon into their app or into their journey that brings them back in and says, hey, we recognize you. Come in. So I think addressing that in your presentation would be of tremendous value. And maybe touch on, kind of maybe mention those things like, here's what everybody's doing in the industry and why it's not working, right? Everybody's capturing that email address, the birth date, the anniversary date. How is Qubriux taking it to the next step? And then talk about that journey.
Yeah, that's great. That's great feedback. You're absolutely 100% right.
Really good stuff. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you being here. I'm happy that the link got you on stage and didn't just have you as a passive participant. And anybody that's watching, we would love for you to join these shows. If you have a restaurant technology that you'd like to showcase on a Friday show, please email us, podcast@calibbq.media. Mike will get you booked. We also have Wednesday shows that are open topic based. So if you have a topic, or if you want to host, if you want to guest host, we also take guest hosts. Dean LeBay, Mike is yours. 1 minute. Who are you? What are you working on? And what's your feedback? What's your critical feedback, Dean? We know Dean has positive feedback. What's your
my name's feedback? My name's Dean LeBay. I'm in New Orleans. I'm a retired paperclip salesman turned storyteller. Chris, fantastic job. You knocked it out of the park. And Eric was right. It's about saving time. Technology, we talk a lot about technology, but if it's not saving time, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I was listening to a podcast earlier in the week, and the guy was talking about it takes 4.5 to 5 times for a customer to come back before you own them. I don't think that's true. I think it's 3 times. It's always been 3. So the tools that you've got basically increase that coming back to the restaurant, and once you get them that 3rd time, if you're doing it correctly, you've got them for life. And it's just a matter of, in sales, you're a hunter or you're a farmer. When you're starting out in a startup, it's about hunting people and getting companies. And once you get them going, it's about farming those relationships. There's been a lot of talk about partnerships and vendors, and I don't know. I don't want to be a vendor. I want to be a partner in your business. And I think that's what you're trying to convey to people is, this isn't a one-time deal. We're in it for the long haul. If you start a restaurant today and you're not in it for the long haul, you're just not going to make it. And I'm convinced, just over the last couple of years being on Clubhouse and being in this particular community, if you are not technologically digital hospitality by 2030 and you're in the restaurant business, you will not make it. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. Entrepreneur Magazine came out with an article yesterday that there's never been a better time than right now as an entrepreneur startup to start a business. Never in the history of man. So I don't have anything but positive to say about what you're doing. I've been following you for a long time, and the only thing I'd say is just continue telling your story. And like the other gentleman said, continue telling the story about the founder and the founder story and how you got to where you are today, because nothing happens by mistake. It happens when it's supposed to happen. So that's really all the feedback I got. I'm just glad to be here, and I'm glad for this community. And I would just say, if you're not connected to each other on this screen, connect with each other on LinkedIn, because I believe we're all on LinkedIn. But yeah, Chris, nice job.
So Chris, now it's my feedback time, and I think this is not just specific to you. This is global feedback that I give to all of our, not just technology clients, but any of the brands that we work with. Is the story you shared about the gas station brought me in.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that moment, you brought me into the problem with loyalty and also the magic of loyalty. And the fact that it was a gas station was outside of the restaurant. So the only thing that I would follow up is social proof is important to restaurateurs. Like, we want to know, if it's a startup, we understand we might be the first logo that's going up for, the tech journey. We might be the alpha proof of concept, but you said that you're working with lots of global, you said Qubriux coffee. Is that correct?
Yeah, Qubriux.
Yeah. So leaning on those, but finding their story of like, what was loyalty like before Qubriux? And this was the Chris walking into the gas station for Qubriux coffee, and Qubriux coffee has this many things. Like getting to those brings, not just the emotional subjective, but then the objective of like, this is the unboxing, this is the onboarding, these are the results. And this is something told in a story way that me, the listener, the prospect goes, oh, I can see my brand, even though I'm not Qubriux coffee. I can see how, as a restaurateur, I'm relating to this journey. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, right? Putting them in the same, right? They can see themselves within that story because it's relatable, as opposed to a gas station. It's not as relatable. That makes perfect sense.
Awesome. So thank you all the people that are watching on YouTube, watching on LinkedIn, watching on Facebook. Super cool. We appreciate you. We want you to join us on the show. We want you to be a shark. We want you to pitch the tide. So please reach out to us, podcast@calibbq.media. Before we end today, let's go around and start with Eric Miller. Eric, thank you for being here. What's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment? Anything you want to leave with?
Good question. One thing that stood out, data, right? We hear it all the time. Everybody offers it. These restaurant folks, every one of them, operators, owners, they have data coming out of their ears. If you're trying to sell data and you don't have anything actionable behind that data, you better sell something else quick, because these restaurant operators are way too smart and they can see right through it. Do something with action, or just don't do anything at all.
Awesome. Great stuff, Eric. And yeah, reminder to Dean's point, please connect with each other on LinkedIn. Rising Tide Lifts All Ships. That's the name of the show, the name of the community. We have a LinkedIn community. So if you want to join that group chat, let me know. We have an Instagram community. Whatever you're doing, this community will support you. Shout out to Richard Liverman, who is a part of this community. He was nominated as one of the top 100 businesses in London, I believe actually in all of England. So he is celebrating that award today. He's got some really cool things that he's doing. So follow his social pages. He's part of this community. Let's go ahead. Vincenzo, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Yeah, I guess takeaway just from hearing what all of the comments from the panel here is, I guess, as you're opening up and introducing yourself, explain why now, and why you're the person that can make an impact, right? Because I think that's what it's going to, I guess, is going to land and stick the most. And then, everything else just stems from that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. Eric, welcome. So happy that you're here. Happy that I hope you keep coming back, man. Let us know if you want to Shifty to be featured on a Friday show. But thanks for being here. Go ahead. Tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Homework assignment is to get that book, The Power of Moments, and probably share the copy around the office. So that was great. I'll take that recommendation. I think two things. Eric mentioned data, and it's not just about selling data. It's fine. Restaurateurs are way too busy to organize and figure out a way to make their data actionable. So if you come to the table with solutions on how to do that, not just organize the data, but how to put it into motion, that's of incredible value. So that's my key point and takeaway for you, Chris.
Good stuff. Thank you, Eric. Dean LeBay, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Chris, you knocked it out of the park, like I said. The only tip I got is, guys, listen, this community only gets better as we bring new people in, bring others in. Please come back next week and bring somebody with you, because that's how we grow. We grow by learning from others. And so anyway, that's it. Thanks, Shawn. I appreciate y'all producing this.
You got it. Chris, you get to close the floor. What's your takeaway? What's your homework assignment?
Yeah, my takeaway is that this is a great community, and the feedback is just it's immeasurable, right? Because like we as tech professionals, we get to pitch to operators, but we don't get the feedback, right? It's always in a sales mode. To be able to do this and have that feedback come back to me is just super invaluable for me to grow professionally, and for the company to grow, and for the industry to benefit from that. And a platform like this is it's so important for the growth of the industry. And when we look back in 10 years from now, it's things like this that people show up on Fridays and surround ourselves with like-minded people trying to help the industry do better, so that we all can rise.
Awesome.
And my where I'm going to go back to is I'm going to go back and I'm going to hone my story in based on this feedback. And I really appreciate you guys being here and giving me this feedback, because I'm going to be better for the next time, for sure.
Awesome. Well, that's Chris Munz, Qubriux. You can find them online. You can reach out to Chris. Anybody in this community, we are all weirdly available. LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you go, you can Google ChatGPT. We're pretty easy to find. I'm happy to help. And thank you to Mike Biseglia for producing the show. Thank you to our Cali Barbecue media team for all the work you guys do behind the scenes. And thank you to the community. Seriously, you guys didn't show up into ourselves. It's way cooler when you guys show up. So thank you for being here. Have an awesome Friday. Great job, Chris. Thank you all. Have a great week.
Yeah, you too. Bye now.
Great show.